Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And we're smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, greats, overachieving, never slacking. Well, I can tell you what's been smoking lately, and that has been these plantations, man. Like Nottoway Plantation. There was another one in DC. I know, like a tree fell on like some Confederate building, and just completely destroyed it. And they didn't have the funds to really get it back up and jumping. I don't know if there was like a GoFundMe made. I think might have been made for them, but it's been wild out here. It feels like ever since the movie Sinners dropped, it just opened up this portal in a sense because it was ancestor veneration. A lot of people may think genetic memory is just a theory, and things like that. But come on, it's really not. When people have these random dreams, or you got kids being born saying, "Listen, I remember, you know." This and that happened at this time that they could possibly never know, or have like this past life recollection and all these different things. We know that there's things that are just unexplained, right? So with that being said, we're gonna jump into this. There's people who are saying, from what I'm seeing, that there was paranormal activity, ancestors that were spotted at the Nottoway Plantation fires. I did hear this one lady say that she's seen some spiritual type of energy that was there. She was there. She actually has a picture. Was that the one that had the picture? There was one that had a picture pouring out water to the ancestors, but it might have been another one that was there too that said this. I might be getting the two mixed up, but one of them said that they seen like this spiritual energy. And yeah, that's not nothing that hasn't been said all around the world for ages and eons, right? So we're going to go ahead and dive into this. Here we go.
Paranormal is happening in this photo. If you don't know, this is the Nottoway Plantation that is going up in flames, or went up in flames, because it is gone, it's charred. But the ancestors was there while it was happening. As the flames were going up, the ancestors were there. And I want to show you how paranormal and freaky this photo is. It is not edited. I want to put a disclaimer out here. This is not edited. This is not tampered with. You can Google this image and you can zoom in for yourself. And I'm going to zoom in right here where the archways are, where the flames are happening, and show you that the ancestors was in attendance. Look at this. I can't make this up. Again, this is unedited. Do you see two figures in the archways? Like,
Mm, I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it. I know when 9/11 happened, there was these pictures of, I'm not sure if they were edited or what, but it was like these, what people were saying, demonic faces in the Twin Towers when they were blowing up. So, as far as the spirit world works, as far as like elementals, nature spirits, yeah, they'll show up in ways that we may think our mind is playing tricks on us, right? I know there's a word for it. Where people see, the science world got a word for everything. But I do believe that spirits can manipulate the physical in a way where you can explain it in the physical, but whole time it was really due to what maybe happened in another dimension, in that colliding with the physical. So, for example, you had the show Evil, where she had this demon that was like was really messed up. It was tormenting her, and it was like peeing by the window. But when she got woken up out of it, like the window was cracked, and it was raining, and rain was coming down. But I do believe that other energies from other dimensions can manipulate things in a way like that, to where we can explain it in the physical, but the whole time it really is because it was manipulated by the spiritual.
I can't make that up. And so when I seen this, I was like, oh my gosh, there's spirits in that plantation. And it's like right there. Like, your eyes, yes, you can make all the excuses you want, but my eyes are not lying, and I hope you guys see what I see. I see a woman right here, and I see a man right there. Okay? It's circled. You can see as clear as day in those archways. I know there's people that's going to dispel it, and that's fine. There's always going to be people who are skeptical. But I see very clearly with my two eyes, I see two spirits. it might be two ancestors. I know it's two ancestors, and they wanted to be a witness to the flames of this place going down. Okay, this is a cursed plantation. All plantations are cursed, but they wanted to witness this going down. Okay, so tell me what you guys think. But yeah, the ancestors were there singing "This Little Light of Mine." I'm gonna let it shine. They were there. They were in attendance right here. Something.
Okay, so the first comment I see someone said, the first thing I noticed was the top flames resemble a phoenix. I did kind of know. I do see that too. Let me fast forward a little bit so you can really see it.
And I hope you guys see what I.
I can see what they're saying there. She and this person said, and just as the phoenix rose from the ashes, she too will rise, returning from the flames, clothed in nothing but her strength, more beautiful than ever. Beautiful, beautiful. Shannon Hearts. I'm guessing that's who made that, who wrote that whole quote. But yeah, if you ever seen American Horror Story, see they put things in like TV shows and movies. If you ever seen American Horror Story, I think it was an apocalypse. It was about the murder house where this house was pretty much like a spirit trap, and everybody that would die in the house would be stuck in the house. So I want to say it was American Horror Story season Apocalypse, where the murder house was burned down. And when it was burned down, you see, the spirits are finally able to be free. Um, Even there's this movie called Room Something. Samuel L. Jackson is in it, and there's this other actor where this guy, he's like this paranormal investigator, and he goes to this. Whoa, I'm getting chills. I love these type of movies, but he goes to this hotel in New York City, and this hotel is supposed to be like super super haunted, right? And when he goes there, hold on, let me just make sure. Okay, we're good. So when he goes to this hotel, he goes to this room that's supposed to be, well, the room's supposed to be like really, really, really haunted. Like nobody even a guy that takes him in the elevator is like, this is as far as I'm gonna go. Long story short, he goes into the room, and yeah, it was exactly what everything that he didn't think it was. It was super haunted, but the only way he was able to truly get out of that was fire, right? Because fire is transformation, and fire does purify things. So, I did have someone comment. Shout out to him, my guy out in the UK. He said he felt like, these buildings should be up because of, for a reminder of history. And he's entitled to his opinion. But as a so-called Black American who, my ancestors went through, slavery and things like that, went through a lot. That I know of, as far as on that specific side of my lineage. Um, Burn that to the ground. Personally, I would never want to see. It's certain energies that just be trapped in there. It's just bad energy. It's like certain things survive within our genetic memory, within our subconscious. But at the same time, it's like certain things just need to be burned down. It was this girl I found out. There was this park in my hometown that was named after this girl that I didn't even know about this till recently, but of why this park was named this. But this girl back in the '80s, she was like delivering a newspaper, and some guy, he trapped her. He pulled her in, tortured her, killed her, and about 2 years ago, her parents are still living. About 2 years ago, they watched as they finally destroyed that house. Same thing happened to Sylvia Likens. There's a movie called An American Crime or something like that about this young lady named Sylvia Likens who was only 16, and she was abused by her caretaker, horribly, tied to the basement. People around the neighborhood would come and pay just to, you know, um, sexually violate her and things like that. And she would get pushed down the stairs. She would get burnt. Uh, just horrible, like horrible. I mean, they were giving her scorching hot baths. She died, right? And that place got knocked down too. And I remember seeing people say her spirit could finally be freed from that place. Um, yeah. So and even if if their spirits are gone or moved on, um, there's something called energy signatures where, if something really bad happens somewhere, it can it's recorded in the ethers and it can play back like you're rewinding a tape. Um, so you may be able to feel that, catch that energy, like, oh, that place, and it may just it's like a stain. So some things do need to be knocked down. Some things do need to be burned down. Some things do need to be purified. Now everybody has their own opinions based on what they've been through or whatever may have happened over here and with these people. But speaking for the so-called Black American, I think most of us at least would agree that we're not really too we're not losing no sleep, you know. But yeah, that's I'll probably play one more video, see if somebody else has witnessed anything. Okay, now that would take. I feel like my screen's not big enough for people to really look into that to try to see if there's faces there. But so I'm gonna stop it there. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Seriously, like I just wouldn't. There's people all around. Like I said, it's easy to call somebody crazy. It's easy to disrespect people. It's easy to call people nuts and just all type of insults. But the truth of the matter is, um, since the beginning of time as we know it, people have talked about other realms and spirits and ghosts and things even beyond that, and even people who were considered, I guess, professional people or PhDs or whatever it is that qualify them to be their word to be taken serious in the society we live in today. There's been many who have spoken, and there's truth is you can't. I feel like it's the ego of humans to just act like something ain't real, act like something that doesn't exist, especially the fact of none of us are going to live forever. So we're going to find out, right? And you don't want to be that person that might have some unfinished business and you caught in between worlds and now you need help and nobody wants to pay you any mind because you don't exist, right? Because that type of way of thinking has been, um, installed into so many people. So I like to honor everything around me. That's just how I am. That's just how I am. So with that being said, woo, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. This was a serious one right here. Um, yeah, yeah, this was serious. I can only imagine. Like, let's be real. If you right there and you seeing something like that burn, I can only imagine the energy there. I can only imagine. I can only imagine the energy of seeing places where where people get murdered, like stories that went worldwide, that went national, and you see the buildings that they died in or were tortured and finally get murdered or finally get knocked down. I can only imagine the energy of standing in front of that. Would I be surprised if somebody seen a spirit? No, because even with the Sylvia Liking story I told you about, there's a lot of people around that place in Indiana that said that they would hear like a girl screaming in the basement way after, like, decades after she was gone. Like, they would hear her at night, like that was a known thing around there. Now obviously people do spread tales, people do, but not everything is BS. That's all I'm gonna say. So enjoy your day. If you enjoyed this reaction, definitely don't hesitate to hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell for more, and I will be back. Much love.